at you from the great state of Louisiana. Today is one of those days where I just pop into Card Ladder and I click the index button and look around and start talking about it. And so that's what this video is going to consist of. I've got some screen share action for you. It's not going to be a long video. There's really no rhyme or reason to this. I just want you guys to see what I see. Some of you guys like to watch the channel because you kind of share what I do in the hobby, and this is literally what I would be doing if I didn't have a YouTube channel, is popping into Card Ladder, look at some of the cards that have gone up the most in the last quarter, some of the cards that have gone down the most in the last quarter. I don't search the monthly because I think quarterly is a little more indicative, and usually there's a few more data points, but you got to be really careful when you're only looking at 1 or 2 or 3 sales in the last 90 days. That is not a large sample size, so I'm always going to caution you guys, be very careful. In addition to the small sample size, you always got to look at the quality of the seller, the platform it was sold on, and then you make your own best decision as to whether or not the sale was actually consummated. I know Card Ladder likes to verify that sales actually happened, but on some of these smaller dollar deals, I'm sure they're not verifying that those prices were actually paid. So let's look at it together. As you can see, this is the index cover sheet for the last quarter. Basketball is squarely here at -9%. Those of people who invested in tennis and racing and F1 and even football is down 20% over the last quarter. That really surprises me. I guess there was a big run up leading into the season and then maybe down out of the season, as we've gotten to the point where we kind of know what's going on, who's in, who's out. We're starting to get some familiarity with who's going to make the playoffs and stuff like that. I'm not a football guy. I'm not going to talk anymore about it. Let's click basketball. Here's what it looks like. It looks like a flat line, but really it is down 7.92% over the last 3 months. If we look at the last 6 months, it's significantly worse. And so at least we can say it looks to be flattening a little bit, although you're also looking at, half as much time to go down. So maybe that's also part of it. Let's look at the last year, down 18% over the last year. As you can see, 13,000 cards are included in this index. So that's a pretty dang large sample size. I went ahead and factored these. I sorted by PSA 10s only, minimum value of $100. And let's take a look at some of the cards. We'll start with the cards that have done the worst over the last quarter. And we'll just start talking and looking, man. And I'll just give you my thoughts on those cards. So the first card is Donovan Mitchell. Everybody knows Donovan got traded from the Jazz to the Cavs. So now he has a chance to really make some noise in the playoffs. The Cavs are in a nasty, nasty Eastern Conference. My guess is, and I've got a video out on the Luka Nation Network that you guys may want to check out. My guess is the Cavs are going to be somewhere between a 4 and maybe even a play-in team. It's just going to be tough. I know game 1 just happened. Today is I'm filming this on October 20th. I'm going to release it on October 20th. But I know just last night, Darius Garland got hurt. I didn't get a chance to see what happened, but he only played like 13 minutes. Obviously, without Darius Garland, the Cavs are not nearly the same team. That's an all-star point guard, mind you. So they need him in the mix. But why do I have that one sorted right there? Sorry. So card number 1, we got Victor Oladipo going down $250 to $85. 85 seems like a steal. 250 seems like too much. Oladipo is now healthy. I listened to him on the JJ Redick Old Man in the 3 podcast the other day. He says he feels like he hasn't felt in years and years. He had obviously a horrific injury in Indiana. Then he got picked up by Miami, and then he re-aggravated. It wasn't exactly the same injury. He didn't re-tear his quad, but it was an injury related to the torn quad that led to the subsequent injury. That Victor Oladipo card at 250 seems crazy. At 85, it seems almost too cheap, right? Silver back then, it's popped 38 in the PSA 10. I've talked about this ad nauseum. 2012, 2013, silvers mean more than they do now. There's just so many fewer. There's 38, not 2,300. So totally different. But you can see up, down, up, down, up, down. So the fact that it's down this much over the last 3 months has a lot to do with that beginning data point. Probably a $100 card. That's my guess. Victor Oladipo, somebody to keep an eye on. He is a 6th Man of the Year candidate now that Tyler Hero's in that starting lineup. Next is Benoit Benjamin. For those of you who don't know, he's a big fat dude. Although he doesn't look fat in this picture because he was a rookie probably or a second year. This is his 87 Fleer PSA 10. I'm shocked that this went down. My guess is somebody a set collector reached and just said, I've got to get it. As you can see, pop 11 on your screen. I mean, these cards in 87 Fleer are more difficult to obtain in PSA 10 than 86 Fleer. The rumor is there was about 1/4 of the production for 87 Fleer as there was for 86 Fleer because they couldn't give away the 86 Fleer. I remember hearing stories about people at the National saying that a dude was pushing a cart around it was stacked with cases of 1986 Fleer, and they were looking to sell cases at $10 per box, and he could not find buyers at the time. Of course, back then, people were looking for Barry Bonds and Greg Jeffries and Don Mattingly and Wade Boggs and Tony Gwynn and Dwight Gooden cards and Canseco probably more than anybody at the time. They weren't even looking at basketball cards. And so this Benoit Benjamin card looks like it dropped from $5,500 to $2,000. Again, nobody's a Benoit Benjamin collector out there. I don't care what you try to convince me of. Yeah, and that's what happened. So it's really not as big a drop as you think. 2,000 here. Somebody reached on August 21st, and then again somebody picked it up a month later for 2,000. So probably a $2,000 card. Again, there's no question that's a set collector. The next cards are Luka Doncic Dazzle. Pretty good looking card. You know, this is from Threads. Threads is a real cheap product you could go find in your local Walmarts or Targets or whatever your stores are called in the city or the region of the United States that you live in. Here we have Walmarts and Targets. That's all we have. Pop 144, so not as many of them out there as you would think. This card undulates pretty wildly. It had a really high starting point here. That's over the last year, over the last 3 months. Somebody paid $1,000 for this card, which seems like a stretch, a really stupid stretch. But this card's pretty much settled in. It's still going down now, mind you. 474, 416. 499, 419, 380 for the last one. Again, a lot of people don't think Doncic has enough. They blew a game last night where they had a monstrous lead. Next on our list is Donovan Mitchell, down significantly over the last 3 months. Somebody paid $450 for this fast break disco, whatever you want to call it. That's the colloquialism, is the disco, but it's really called fast break prism. It's only a pop 93. There's not very many of these. I remember when these first came out, people did not really like them. People still really do not like them. A couple of parallels that people just generally speaking don't like as much as I thought that they maybe would is red, white, and blues, other than 2018, which is horrific and ugly. It looks like a barbershop sign, but the red, white, and blues from other years, I think look really, really cool. That's just me. I know I'm definitely in the minority. People don't dig red, white, and blues, and they don't like greens. Beginning with 2012 greens, which are more rare than the silver, but sell for less than the silver. People don't like greens, and I don't know why, unless, of course, it's a Bucks player like Giannis. But this Donovan Mitchell fast break prism pop 93 has dropped from 450 all the way down to 177.50 over the last 3 months. And that's probably because, again, somebody reached here. But even if you take that data point out, look at the death march, right? We've got a lot of sample sizes. That's 26 other sales where this card has very steadily dropped. So people are starting to, Donovan Mitchell's transitioning from prospect to veteran NBA player. I mean, the guy's an established all-star, but now it's time to put up or shut up. Like when you buy prospects, you just want to see them get 20 and 8. And Donovan Mitchell has done that and then some. But when they get to their 5th, 6th, 7th year in the NBA, now it's like, well, you got to win a ring at some point. You're halfway into your career, right? You probably got a 15-year career. You don't have a ring after 6 or 7 years. Where the hell is it? Let's get it, right? And so let's see. He's in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. He's in his 6th year, guys. So he's no longer really a prospect. He's a guy that needs to get a ring, just like Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Ingram. And then the last one we'll look at in here, actually, I got another one here. We got a Larry Drew 87 Fleer. Same deal. Sold 4 times, popped 39, sold 4 times over the last year. Again, a set collector probably reached here in late July, and then this last one was still a drop from the 2 prior. So with those types of common cards from mid 80s basketball sets and early 90s basketball sets, oftentimes you're just going to get ridiculous reaches by set collectors. Trust me, I am one, and I've done it numerous times. So price point sometimes doesn't matter. When you need it, and you just go get it. And then the last one we'll look at here is we got the Luka Doncic. This is the orange parallel, which I think is one of the cooler parallels. Kind of looks like a sunset in the background. Doncic is shooting a little scoop layup. Status is a really undervalued card. I really like Status. I really like this product. But this is what the card looks like up close. Sorry there. Now you can see it. There's a couple different parallels. I know there's a purple, there's a red, there's a green, there's an orange. Not nearly as many parallels as there is for Prism, but I think there's also 2 different rookie cards of Doncic as far as like the actual pose. There's like card number 122, but I think there's another one as well. Yeah, that's the other one where he's dunking, which Doncic never touched the back and dunked the ball in his life, but that's what the other one looks like. It's card number 172. So just be aware those are the two. And like here's a green, parallel number one. But the card we're looking at here is this orange one, and this orange one over the last year has been down 62%. Yikes, that's a lot for a pop 199 card. But over the last 3 months even, let's throw this one out, but it would still be down pretty significantly from this 375 sale. 11 sales, down another 60%. So you could pick up this one for $150. That's not bad. I mean, I would rather have this card than a Prism base rookie card. That's just my opinion, So let's look at the cards that have done the best. We don't want to end on a bad note. Let's end on a good note. Again, I'd be real careful. I'm not going to look at this. I don't think this is a legitimate sale. I just don't. The last one sold for $9.99 like 2-3 months ago, and then one recently sold for $7,500. That can't possibly be real. Let's look at the last year. Yeah, it's just not realistic. $1,680, $990, and then somebody pays $7,500. If you can hit view all sales, you can see it's sold on eBay, best offer. There's just no way that got paid. That's just somebody comp setting. That's just not realistic. So let's throw that one out and see if I can go back to my list. And I have screwed it up. Let's keep going. No, let's keep going again. Let's keep going. I should be able to get back to my list at some point or not. I don't know. Oh, I got to hit cards. That's why. Okay. So it got rid of all of my filters. So hang on. Let's get it again. And then let's hit filter and let's go minimum value 100. We'll get it back, guys. We'll get it back. I promise. All right, there it is. That's one thing I did wrong. I got to figure out how to do that because oftentimes I'll go to a card, look at it, and then I go back and then I lose my list. It pisses me off. I'm doing something wrong, I assure you. The Kobe Bryant 1996 Flair Showcase, row 2. Remember, there's row 0, row 1, row 2. There's row 0 Legacy Collection. There's a lot of different variations. This is just his row 2 base, but it's a really beautiful base card. For those of you who've seen 96 Flair Showcase, it doesn't look like your typical product. It's a high-end product. So we've got the Kobe pulled up. This card actually jumped, and I don't know if this is legit or not, but you can always go look at view all sales, but now I'm scared to because I'm going to lose my place. But over the last year, it sold 5 times. Over the last 3 months, there's only 2 sample sizes. So from 1,500 to 5,000 doesn't sound realistic to me. I'm throwing it out. I'm not using it. This does sound more believable, even though it's a 3x jump. And it's just like I was telling you, a set collector who needs a Danny Ainge, which is Pop 18 for his 87 Fleer set. There's only like 3 or 4 of these complete PSA 10 sets with stickers in the world. Trust me, I know. This one just recently sold for $1,200. I bet you anything that's a legit sale of a Danny Ainge card, even though that sounds crazy. We know this is legit, but it's a PSA 8 that got pulled up in my PSA 10 search. Speaking of set cards, here's the Alvin Adams. The Alvin Adams is interesting because I sold mine in the PWCC Weekly Auction back in May. It was one of those weekly auctions back in May. If we look at the last year, it's a pop 72 card, so it's one of the lowest population cards in the 1986 Fleer set. A lot of people aren't familiar with it. They've heard of the Johnny Moore. They know the checklist is rare. Obviously, you know the stickers are rare, especially the Kareem. They know that the Dominique Wilkins is the most rare Hall of Fame rookie card, along with the Chris Mullin. And then they know the Jeff Malone. They know the Johnny Moore. They know the checklist is rare. But they don't remember that Alvin Adams is only pop 72. That is really tough to find for 1986 Fleer PSA 10 set collectors. And so we've got him pulled up. That's what it's done over the last year. If you can believe it, this card of Alvin Adams, this guy right here that does your taxes, sold for $18,600 back in February of this year. That is 8 months ago. It sold for $19,000, and then it got all the way down to $2,900, and now it's back up to $8,000. I believe this. I think that probably is a legitimate, realistic sale. We've got a Michael Jordan Panini stickers, Spanish PSA 10. Anytime Jordan sells, I usually tend to believe it because he's just like set collectors. Jordan collectors are irrational, especially when it's a card that is a, yes, pop 15 right there. I believe that this card could jump from 1560 to $3,700. I also believe it could fall back to $1,560 next month, because once that one person that had to have it gets it, the next person may not have a rival combatant on that bidding auction platform to run the number up again from that number. But we shall see when the next 1988 Panini Jordan Spanish sticker sells. The Malcolm Brogdon silver. We got a couple of data points here. Again, even back in 2016, silver was not like it is today, where there's 2,000 plus Doncic and 2,500 Zions and all that stuff. So PSA 10 silver Brogdons, there's only 123 of them in the world. If we look at the pop report, about 15 of those have been added over the last 18, 19 months. But here's what it's done. There is some up and down here. It probably has something to do with the fact of the trade, where he got traded from the Pacers to the Celtics for a bag of chips and a used rubber. I'm just bitter because I'm a Bucks fan, so I'm just pissed about that, because I would love to have Brogdon back. Even though he's injury prone, I'd love to have the guy back. He pushed 50, 40, 90. He was rookie of the year, and the Celtics got him for nothing, and it pisses me off. But over the last 3 months, it's only been 2 sales. Somebody probably stole one here for 52. It should be worth more than that. He's a pretty good player. 120 sounds about more realistic given the low population right there and the excitement surrounding Brogdon on the Celtics. Jordan Poole Fast Break Red, not a color match, also not a main set, right? The Fast Break is like a parallel set of the Prism, variation set, whatever you want to call that. I don't know what the hobby's term for that is, but $1,400 for a red serial number to 125 Jordan Poole seems like a hellacious amount of money. That seems like way too much. If somebody paid that, my condolences. That was yesterday, man. That doesn't seem right, but maybe it is. I don't know. But the last one sold for $521. Let's look at the last year and see what this thing's done. Yeah, I don't know about this one right here. Somebody either really got excited after opening night, where, again, Jordan Poole is an absolute phenom. He is a stud. But, again, there's so many cards, so many products, so many variations. I'd just chill with that. $1,400. I can find a lot better ways to spend $1,400 in the Jordan market, or the freaking Doncic, or the Giannis market for that matter, or the Jokic market, or that just seems like a big number to pay. I think you can go get RPAs, raw RPAs, and grade them yourself and do better. But somebody did it. 19 is a very low pop and ultra modern, so it is what it is. We got a Shaq Rejectors. So this is a 1992 Ultra Shaq. It's not his true rookie card, but it's a rookie card, right? It's a subset card called Rejectors in the 1992 Ultra. That is, it give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Yes, it is the great Felton Spencer, not Never Nervous Purvis Ellison, but the great Felton Spencer that attended the University of Louisville and had absolutely no NBA career to speak of. And then, of course, there's Scott Skiles over here on the right-hand shoulder, who is most famous for having the single-game all-time assist record of 30 assists in a game. But we got Shaq Rejectors pulled up. Let's see what this card's done. That's over the last year. That's going to be a little bit wild. In the last 3 months, he's been great. So it looks like the card hit the bottom and it started to jump a little bit. I don't know if this is realistic. 403 seems high. The card's a pop 388, and there's probably thousands more out there in the wild if people really wanted to put the money into getting them graded. Maybe not thousands, maybe hundreds more. We'll see. Let's see what the pop's done over the last 18 months. Yeah, there you go. So it's gone up from 200 to 388. So the pop's almost doubled since April of 2021. So again, what is that? Yeah, it's about 18 months. So over about 18 months, the pop's almost doubled. There's more out there. There's hundreds more out there. So not the rarest card in the world, but it is a cool card. And it's called Rejectors, but it looks to me like Shaq's getting a rebound. Seems like he should be blocking Felton Spencer's shot, which wouldn't be hard to do. But that card over the last 3 months is up 112%. Damn, this card was going for 190 and jumped all the way up there. Even if you just start from the 190 and you finish down here at the 225, that's still a pretty good jump, man. That card's up for sure. There's enough data points to substantiate it. And here's one of my babies, right? The Jordan Beam team. Oh, I love it. The pop is exactly 100. What's the members only pop? Oops, sorry, no, the members only Beam team. There we go. 66. So 2/3 as many Beam team members only as there are Beam teams in PSA 10 condition. But we're talking about the Beam Team 10, and there's only been 2 sales, and that's not unusual because when there's only 100 of a Jordan card, you're not going to see that many sales. We'll see some more over the year. There you go. So this looks like it's just a gigantic leap. It started at 6,000, bounced around a little bit, came back to 6,000, got all the way down to 43.27. And then somebody paid $9,100. That seems like a stretch. Even for Jordan, I don't know about that. That is not that rare of a card. I'd be surprised if that really happened. Let me try to do this and do it right again. That sale was on memory lane in an auction, so I guess it's been vetted. And it is what it is. Did I do it? I did it again. I did it again, guys. I don't know how to get back to it. Anyway, let's go back to the indexes. The hell with it. I don't know if you can go in and get out. Maybe it's a card ladder glitch, or maybe I'm just too stupid. But that's it. What players are up the most? Let's see. Monthly change. Todd Gurley is up the most. I know why that is the case. Shout out to Josh Johnson of Cardboard Chronicles fame and the crossover and card ladder. He's buying these. He's probably paying whatever they cost. Let's see what cards are in the Todd Gurley. The Kaboom, Prism. Yep. So I'm assuming he's buying these Todd Gurley cards, and that's why Todd Gurley cards are up. Who else is up in Alvin Adams? We already looked at. Danny Ainge we looked at. Again, they're probably only going to have 2 cards of each of those guys. It says 16, but that's just going to be various grades. Rolando Blackman, 86 Fleer. I'm telling you, those are set collectors pushing those over. Let's go into basketball specifically and look at cards. And we'll just look at a couple more. This Shaq's up 105,000%. That's pretty good. It's a 2020 Hoops Raw Shaq card. And then the Michael Cooper, TJ Warren, Nicholas Claxton. This is me not sorting PSA 10 and not sorting with a $100 minimum value. So who knows what's happening here. But Gary Trent Jr. Silver Raw is $11. Mike Conley Chrome Refractor rookie cards. It's just so fun to go through here and look through here. We got our Lauri Markkanen PSA 9 here, pop 986. I wonder what a Lauri Markkanen PSA 10's worth. $20, guys. Pop 1,000. That's probably the issue, but he's going to have a monster year. Remember, you heard it here first, and I've said it ad nauseum, man. Lauri Markkanen and Colin Sexton are 2 forgotten prospects in the hobby who are not really prospects anymore, but who are good players, and they're on a very, very, very bad team. Yes, I know they spanked the Nuggets on opening night, but the Jazz are going to try to lose as many games as possible. I'm guessing they're going to win around 20 this season, and if they do, all 20 of those wins are going to be because of Markkanen, Sexton, and Jordan Clarkson. And then they got some rookies with Agbaji and Walker Kessler. So we'll see how those guys chip in. But Markkanen's the alpha on that team. So for the first time since he was a rookie on the Bulls, Markkanen is the 100% clear-cut absolute alpha. And I guess Levine was probably the alpha on that team anyway. But Markkanen's going to put up 20-plus points a game, probably 8 to 9 rebounds, and shoot a bunch of threes. So look for big things from Markkanen. Again, I'm not telling you to go out there and buy his base PSA 10, but damn, man, it's $18 to grade a card. It's probably $20 with shipping and insurance, and somebody bought these for $6, PSA 10s. That's crazy, and now they're selling for $21. That's a 300% increase, and that's why he's in here. If you go look at the last month, look at the last 3 months. He's up 150%, right? This was the under a $10 card, and now it's over a $20 card. And so there's moves to be made out there in the hobby. It would take some serious work, after eBay fees and shipping and all that crap that goes with it. But you could make moves on base Prism cards in the hobby still if you really wanted to put in the time and energy. So anyway, that's it. Nothing here, guys. I just wanted to look at the screen, ramble, and talk about cards with you guys. Again, I don't have anybody to talk to down here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana about cards every single day. So it's always a pleasure and a privilege to get to chat with you guys and share my thoughts on what's going up, what's going down, and looking at these really cool card ladder indexes. I'm really appreciative that card ladder exists, and we can always just click the button and start talking, and I can get 23 minutes of basketball card talk in. Anyway, off screen to my right though, I've got about 115 cards I'm about to send off to PSA with their $18 grading. Yes, I'll get them back probably around 2027, but when I do get them back, I'm going to share them with you. I love doing these grade reveal mail days with you guys. I know you guys enjoy those, so stay tuned. Hit the bell icon for notifications. I do tons of PSA grade reveals. I've actually got an order going out to Tag that you'll see a video about. It's actually going to be a 4-part video series about using Tag grading for the first time. It's a computer automated grading service, and I've talked through some of the details of that. So that's a cool video coming out. And keep make sure you are subscribed not only to this channel that you're watching right now. Please subscribe if you watch the videos. It really helps me with YouTube and just gives me a little bit of confidence that I'm doing something right. But also make sure you subscribe to the Luka Nation Network, because I'm releasing 4 videos a week, every week on that channel as well, every Monday and Friday, and then usually one in between there or 2. So stay tuned to those as well. General basketball talk, PWCC auction recaps, and then we always talk about Michael Jordan cards on Fridays. Fridays are for Jordan, right? So every Friday on the Luka Nation Network, you're going to get a new video about a Michael Jordan card from the 90s. That's it, guys. I had a lot to say today, but we're pushing towards the weekend. It's happy Thursday. Enjoy the games tonight. My Bucks are going for win number 1 without Middleton and without Connaughton. We'll see if they can get it done. Thanks for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. And peace.